Hello guys, welcome back to Movie Man Beyond. Today I'm going to be talking about Black Adam. Let's do it. Now, for those who aren't fully clued up in the comic book world, Black Adam is sort of like a spin-off of Shazam, and it's sort of like he's got the same sort of powers as Shazam, and his powers come from ancient like Egyptian gods, whereas Billy Batson's are more Greek. So, anyways, there will be spoilers. It was just a quick review of the movie. I couldn't get any footage because bus was running late, and then by the time I caught the second bus, I had to be sort of in there, and I didn't want to be flapping. I just like to get in and sit down. So yeah, Black Adam. It was alright. It's a lot of tropes, like you say in many superhero movies. I didn't find it a bad movie. It goes along steadily paced. It is a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. He's sort of plays the same character in nearly every film. Wasn't great action, special effects. The villain is okay. Sabak, I think he's called. Sort of like a demon. You've got Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate, which is the DC's version of Doctor Strange. But they didn't make them for the film. He is an actual character. I thought he was great. Pierce Brosnan, actually, I thought he was probably the best thing about the movie. You got Hawkman in there. Once again played by a black guy for no apparent reason, but just to change characters for the sake of it. So Carter Hall, that and the other two are Atom Smasher and Cyclone. They're like the team that makes up the Justice Society of America, but they're not allowed to say America anymore. They do that with the Justice League. The Justice League are not America, it's Justice League. So anyways, yes, Black Adam gets released by this woman who was about to get killed by these mercenaries that run the city, and she releases him. We've seen the trailers, the clips where he's just wreaking havoc, smashing helicopters and catching missiles, and he's not really a hero. You find out that it was his son who was the hero, and he transferred his powers to him, and then his son gets killed. So Black Adam's just sort of like he's called Teth Adam, his original name. He's just like a ball of rage and anger, and that's kind of why the Justice Society are sent there to stop him, to sort of lock him away and never be used again, because he's very dangerous. Amanda Waller's in this from the Suicide Squad, those movies. She's dotted around in other ones as well. But you find out Teth Adams' backstory, what it's about. I mean, I liked that it was set somewhere different. It wasn't in America. It was I'm going to say Kandor, but Kandor sounds like Kandor, which is the Kryptonian city. So I apologise if I get this wrong. And Kandor is like one of the oldest cities in the world. I think they mentioned it was 2000 BC, at the beginning of the movie. So, The Rock is The Rock on this. He's just kicking ass. He's using his abilities. He's basically Superman, and it's a simple story. He's whole character's bent on revenge, and the villain's one-dimensional. You don't really get into a backstory of him, just this crown. And it's a normal guy that obviously wants the crown, and he wants Black Adam to kill him, because once he kills him it unleashes this flip world, demon world, where the demons can then enter through a human body to then flip and then come back into the human world to take over in an army of the dead. I will say this about the film though, it was quite surprising for a 12, because Black Adam just kills loads of bad guys, and you see it happen. It's quite visual. He's frying people, and you see them combust, and you see them turn into skeletons and stuff like that. The end fight, spoilers, he rips the guy in half with a horn and splits him in two. He punches the shit out of Hawkman. The scenes with Doctor Fate are really good. It reminded me a lot of Doctor Strange, special effects wise, and his magic. And this Pierce Brosnan, he's very charming. He just oozes like class. And I've always said he's always my James Bond, but this just cements it even more as an actor. I still like to see him in more. It's a couple of times some of the effects took me out of the movie. The place where it's set, as much as I liked how it was somewhere else, a lot of it was green screen. The colour palette of the movie was really, I don't know, it was dark in places and then bright. All of a sudden there was no middle ground. I think the costumes and stuff looked cool. I didn't have a problem with that. They were very comic accurate. Some of the things though, like there's a scene with Black Adam where he bursts in a room, he good to bad uglies on the TV. So I'm like, alright, they're going to telegraph something here. A couple of minutes later, he's in sort of like a marketplace and there's like 7 guns on him. And then it starts playing the good, the bad, ugly theme for the Mexican standoff at the end. And then it literally shoots off like 7 lightning bolts. And I was just, oh man. Like, I don't mind a bit of cheese and it's a comic book movie, but I mean, a lot of it has been done to death. It's enjoyable, you know. I enjoyed it more than Thor. This has got its comedy elements in, but if you want to make like a badass character, I think Thor should probably go that way. And Chris Hemsworth has got some acting chops, and I just wish they'd let him do that with Thor. Black Adam, I don't know where I would go with it. I cannot see making that much money, which is disappointing because DC films all seem to struggle unless it's like the Suicide Squad, and it can't get its universe off the ground. Aquaman 2 is obviously being pushed back to next year again. That should have been December. I just want to see more of the DC worlds connecting. I want to see more of the characters. It's always a shame. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League was so good, and then it gets like taken away from us, as that universe is not going to continue on. But you know, like I say, it has decent action set pieces, it's decent visuals. Story is not really fantastic. It's been done to death. Soundtrack was an odd choice. The Rock's just playing The Rock. I thought the supporting cast was decent. Pierce Brosnan's probably the best thing about this movie. The other high spot of the movie was the mid-credits, and this is big spoilers. Amanda Waller sends like this drone to look at talk to Black Adam. And she's like saying, oh, you know, I know powerful friends that are not from this world that can stop you. And she says, bring them all. And then smashes the drone, and then you hear a voice, and it's Henry Cavill back as Superman. So that was great. I love Henry Cavill. I think he's got so much shit on with Warner Bros. And they got rid of him and they didn't want him, and no one wants Superman. They want Superman. Believe me, I want Superman. Fuck's sake. It's like their biggest property next to Batman, but I don't really want him. Oh yes, they do. And so yeah, that leads us into where they're gonna go next. So I don't know. Got the Flash. That's coming out next year as well. I just it doesn't seem to got a plan. But it's nice to know that as much as they don't seem to have one, Marvel is kind of up in the air as well at the minute. They don't know what they're doing. So I think they'll probably don't push a Superman versus Black Adam movie, because that's not gonna work. It's not Batman versus Superman. Doesn't make sense. You ain't gonna have them fighting, but for a story, that's not what I want to see. And I think, where should they go next? It's like another Justice League, maybe. But who knows? Like I say, Black Adam, worth a watch. I mean, go and see it if you not got much on, you're not busy. It's 2 hours, goes by like that. We'll see though, cinema experience, mostly enjoyable until right near the end. Had a couple of guys started trying to video bits of the end, which was really annoying and disrespectful. One of them also had the feet up on the back of the chair, which people do, but he had his shoes and socks off, so his bare feet were touching the chair. And this is one of the reasons why I always sit in the back row, because you don't know what the hell has been going on them chairs. This is in Cineworld in Newcastle, and I just, like, I showered over once just to say, like, hey, like, watch the movie, stop recording it. It looked like they put the phone away, and then they kind of just, I don't think they did here, as I think they just did put it away, and then they started recording it. They couldn't get the phones out quick enough for the mid-credit scene, so no doubt they'll be spoiling that for everyone. I don't know where the cinema ushers are. They pop in once, just before the film starts. Usually when the film finishes, they're standing there at the corridor where you leave. So now I hear anything like that. I just think one's disrespectful, and two, it's like you're spoiling for other people. But other than that, and there was a fly in the room, so it was like a bright scene. The fly would go over the glass of the lens of the projector, and you just see this little scrub on the screen, and then it would bugger off and fly away. But it wasn't really annoying. I thought it was going to be more annoying than it was, but no. I suppose with that you just have to let the fly die, because there's no chance you catching that. So yeah, that was Black Adam. Sort of. But not really much else to say on it. I can't do a deep dive on it. It's not really much else to say. Just have to see what happens, how much money it makes. So okay guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.